up, guys? This is me, and I'm coming to you with a brand new deck profile. I know this deck is a bit late. I've been busy for the past few days. However, I was able to get some time today to film this for you guys, so that's why I'm doing it now. So this week, I want to do Hazy Flames, basically do a deck update of the original Hazy Flame video that I did a long time ago, just because I really like the archetype and I think it's very fun. This is not a competitive deck by any means, so if you're not looking for a competitive deck this time, this is not for you. But it's still a fun deck to play like a local size event. The last deck profile I had, I was playing the Fire Kings variant, and this one I wanted to be more focused on a pure, more closer to pure Hazy Flame variant. It is Heretic Hazy Flame technically, but that's really the way you should be playing the deck, just because Tefno just makes the deck just much more consistent. So yeah, let's get into it. I only play 16 monsters, and we're gonna start off with Cerberus. He is your basic normal summon for the deck. You can normal summon without tributing, which is great, but its original attack becomes 1,000, which actually makes it easier for his effect to go off. It can't be targeted by target effects. All Hazy Flame monsters have that, which is awesome. However, when Cerberus is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can add a Hazy card, and that's any Hazy that includes the spell or the trap from your deck to your hand. So very useful for that. That's your main searcher, so yeah. Sphinx, Hazy Flame Sphinx, now that I have taken the Fire King element out, it does become a little less consistent in terms of what you call. Yes, spells are much higher, like are not as a high, or spells in this deck are not as much of a high count as they were in the last deck. I added some more traps just because they were relevant in terms of this format. So but if you don't know how Sphinx works, it still has the can't target by the card effects, and then once per turn, you can declare one card type, monster, spell, or trap, and send the top card of your deck to the graveyard. Then if it was the declared card type, you can special summon one fire monster from your hand or graveyard. This makes this deck XZ summon very easily. It's very useful. It's very consistent. So in that regard, if you can call it right, then the real main point of using this card is like you have to be able to count your cards, looking at your graveyard, looking at your banish, looking at your field, your hand. You have to be able to figure out what the highest probability of the type of card you think will come off the top of the deck based off what you have. So yeah, and that's why the deck really isn't as consistent as it can be, just because Sphinx has that little bit of chance in it. The next card is Periton. This guy is an instant rank 6 as long as you have a fire monster in hand. If you don't know what this card does, again, it can't be targeted by a card effect, and it can't be special summoned except by Hazy Flame monster's effect. You can send one fire monster from your hand to the graveyard and tribute him on the field, and then special summon 2 Hazy Flame monsters from your deck. And you can only use that effect once per turn. So Periton is a great card. It's an instant rank 6, so good card. Finally, I play one Hazy Flame Griffin. Not all cards in the deck, not all monsters I play that are in the main deck nor in the side, and the extra deck are actually on fire. So I only run one just because of that. And the reason why is because if your opponent controls a monster, and all the monsters, if any, you control or are in your graveyard are fire and only fire, you can special summon this card from your hand. That's that one contingency there is the problem with Griffin, and that's why I only play one of it. For consistency, I play 3 Tefnuit just so I have a special summon when my opponent has a monster. Plus, if I tribute it for a Hazy Flame, I can special summon out Taiho number 2. That's the only reason why he's there. He can be special summoned from anywhere as long as he's not banished, so Tefnuit is very good for that. He becomes an instant rank 6. And then I threw in 2 Cyber Dragons. One, because then I can special summon him and tribute him. They're effectively the 4th and 5th Tefnuit that aren't searchable. Plus, it allows me to play Fortress Dragon, which honestly I feel like is very underrated in terms of how useful it can be and how splashable it can be in a lot of decks. So Cyber Dragon is a good card for that. Plus, it opens you up to some rank 5 plays if necessary. And I do play 1 rank 5, and there's another reason why I'm playing it, not just because I'm playing Cyber Dragons, and I'll explain that when I get to it. 3 Hazy Pillar. 1, this allows you to normal summon without tributing, which is good. And 2, it allows you to beef up your Basil Triss when you need to, or really any Xyz monster on the field. So that's good. 3 Monarch Stormforth. You don't really always need to special summon I mean, they're pretty beefy monsters to begin with, so it's not a big deal. Plus, you get to get rid of one of your opponent's monsters, and it doesn't target, so that's also good. 3 MST because yes. 2 Pot of Duality because this deck normal summons a lot, and 1 Pot of Dichotomy. I decided to go with this ratio rather than the ratio I went with before, just simply because, again, these are pretty beefy to begin with, for rather easy normal summons, and so that's fine with that. And honestly, because they are beefy, I don't really want to give up my battle phase all the time. Moving on, I played 2 Onslaught of the Fire Kings. This should really be a standard for any fire deck, fire monster deck that has Beast Warriors or Wing Beast types. So this card can special out Cerberus, Sphinx, and Griffin if necessary. So that's useful, obviously. And then Circle of the Fire Kings, which is awesome. It allows you to pop Cerberus and then special summon out, preferably a Periton, so you can tribute it. And then you get to also search for off the Cerberus for a card that you can send to the graveyard with Periton's effect. You can also maximize how many attacks you get in the battle phase. So Circle of the Fire King is very good, just simply because it is a quick play spell. For searchability, I play 2 Convocation because I want to get to the tribute fodder as fast as possible. I play 1 Hazy Glory. This card's pretty decent, but I only played it 1 just because it's inherently slow by being a continuous trap. It allows you, again, to normal summon Hazy Flame monsters for 1 less tribute, and you can also send it to the graveyard to target 1 Hazy card in your graveyard and add it back to your hand, which could be any of these cards if you need it, or even Hazy Pillar. So, yeah, I really like Glory in that aspect. Play 2 Great Horn of Heaven. This is such a good card right now, especially against Cosmos. Just being able to immediately end and not just against Cosmos, actually, in Pendulums in general, which it's with Four Mages really just tearing it up right now. Great Horn of Heaven is a great card for that, so that's good. 1 Solemn Warning, 1 Bottomless Trap Hole, 1 Compulse. I mean, they're really good one-offs, so why not? For the extra deck, 1 Chimera Tech because it gets rid of big ships on against Cosmos. Triple Basiltris. It's possible to make all 3 Basiltris, and it's so good. It's such a good rank 6. 1, it can't be targeted if it has enough Xyz material, which is it's easy to get 4. It's way easier to get 3, but it's pretty easy to get a 4. And then the fact that it can't be destroyed when it has 5, and it also becomes a 3500 beater when that happens is awesome. It can also banish stuff, so that's cool too. 1 Gauntlet Launcher because it's good, and you can activate its effect more than once per turn. So if you special summon launcher, excuse me, and then summon you have an extra Hazy Flame in your hand, you can activate the effect 3 times in 1 turn, which is awesome. 1 Utopia Beyond, it's a great card for just rolling over things. 1 Force Focus because it gets rid of high level threats. Ptolemy M7, it's a decent card. Bouncer because it gets rid of cards that have really really bad effects that you don't want to deal with, and it doesn't target, so that's good as well. Shogi Rook, it's decent enough, so why not? Plus, it allows you to pop a set card and a card your opponent controls, so that's also good. 1 Swordbreaker, it's an okay card. 1 Chimera Dragon, which is an amazing card in this deck as well. And 1 Frozen Lady Justice for the rank 6s. For the 1 rank 5, I play 1 Volcasaurus, and there's a dual reason why I play this card, and it's because 1, I play 2 Cyber Dragons. 2, it's because the biggest weakness of this deck is anything that messes with levels, like Mischief of the Yokai, for example. Any deck that messes with levels, this deck hates. Volcasaurus is kind of like the screw you back card if they want to mess with your levels. If they bring them down by 1, you can throw on a rank 4 if you want to, if you feel like they're going to bring them down by 2. But Volcasaurus, yeah, it's the screw you, to give them the finger type of card if they really want to mess with you. And then if they do the opposite direction, you still have Gaia Dragon, and you can always use Gaia Dragon anyway, so that's why that spot is there as well. As a side note, if you want to play Solda, you have to play Hydra. I do not play Hydra because it is such a terrible card to draw. one, you can't special summon it. You can't special summon monsters except fire monsters when he's on the field. That's really really annoying because that prevents you from summoning anything other than Volcasaurus if your levels are messed with, or Basiltris if like that, and that's the only rank 6 you can play. And if there's something better that you wish you could play over instead, oh well, you can't do that. And if you are to play Hydra, play Solda. It's a pretty decent card. It prevents special summoning. So and plus he can't be destroyed by card effects while it has 6 these materials. So that's always good as well. I also want to bring up Exabeetle. The reason why I don't play Exabeetle and I play Gauntlet Launcher, because quite honestly these are very very similar, is because Exabeetle has such low attack for a rank 6. Not even if I was playing the Fire King's engine would I be playing this card, just simply because it still won't be as powerful as Gauntlet Launcher. If I'm doing the math correctly, it is 50 attack points less than Gauntlet Launcher's attack points. So um, yeah, Exabeetle is just not that great of a card. Plus, he's more of a detriment because they can always MST his equip card away. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And of course, have a nice day.